Okay, I've never played V Rising before. I no idea what it is. Happy to check it out. Don't know what genre it is. I think it's early access. I also don't think it supports controller, so I'll be doing mouse and keyboard. Audio balance looks okay. Might be a little loud.
Was ours. We ruled this land. We owned the night.
Okay, so very Legacy of Kain.
But man rose up against us. We were overthrown.
I have to check, Raish. Probably however many are on my how long to beat profile.
Hidden away in darkness. Tortured by thirst. Choking down dust. Starving. Until now, our hunt begins again.
Cool. Let's see, options. This all seems fine. Oh, online play. Run a dedicated server. I guess I'll start not playing online. I didn't know this game was online at all. PvP, interesting. Clan size. Oh wow, this is all pretty surprising. Stream issues? Let me pause the recording here. Sorry about that. Had some Twitch issues. So while I was having Twitch issues, Tryhard was suggesting that I mess around with some of the advanced settings here to adjust how things work on the server. And I am going to be completely okay with doing that on my next play attempt, I think. I kind of want to see how the game works at the default settings so I can understand what I'm doing when I adjust these more. I'd also be okay if you're cool with this Tryhard next time playing this online. I didn't know this was an online game. I didn't know anything about it, but I guess I'm reading these settings as more like this is like creating your Minecraft server that your friends play on, and you set the settings to what you want them to be, right? Like peaceful, creative, that kind of a thing. So I'm just going to try it by default, and I'll see why you recommended the things I turn up, that I turn them up for next time. Cool. Oh, fun. I do. Oh my goodness. Customize your vampire. They have some pretty cool settings here. I like the body types. Hourglass versus inverted triangle. That's kind of cool. Because I usually do a lady character. I'll do a dude here. Why not? That guy looks neat. He's got a Baraka mouth. Press space to wake up. Okay, WASD to move. Power bars. Jump down near a cliff edge. Collect bones. I see. So if we were to do this multiplayer next time, is there like a recommended server for me to join? If I just... Is there a way for me to just randomly connect to people? Because I've played... I mean, I have such little of a conception of what the game is, so... That's how blind I am to it. Is your progress separate for every like server you play on, or do you like maintain a character profile that can go to different worlds? No, what Brutus said. That's cool. So is the loot PvP like Sea of Thieves? Is it like RuneScape PvP? $30 bones lets me make a bone sword. You can only heal 25% health while in combat and by skill usage. Use consumables for Bloodman outside of combat to recover fully. Oh, the sun. That's clever. I do have a dodge, or there's a cooldown on it. Gotcha. So I know a little bit about Rust, but I haven't played it myself. Bone sword. Items are crafted from your inventory. Compulsively count. Transfer items from your inventory if the same type of item exists in the container. Although there's just a button for that. Thank you, Terraria, for bringing that up. Crafting. Bone sword. Oh, I see. So this takes time, and this is what one of the things you were recommending that I speed up for a private server. And I can keep playing while that's crafting, presumably. Oh, it just counts as equipped because it's on my one. Okay, I understand. Slay enemies using the bone sword. Pretty good tutorial to start here. I like the don't stand in the sun aspect. That's clever. Yeah, that sounds right. So there's not a lot of... Like, I'm assuming this game doesn't have XP, like the way you progress is via... Oh, I can eat rats, that makes sense. The way you progress is via gaining loot and accruing loot, so that it's always something you risk someone else taking from you. Bone ring. Hit enemies with shadow bolts. That's this one, right? That's interesting. Okay. So, like, my main experience to a always online PvP game is Sea of Thieves, and in that game, it's like you are risking whatever you're doing during your session, but there's a way for you to store permanent, like, cosmetic progression. Is that still a thing in this, or is there something comparable to that? Oh, bummer. It shouldn't be muted on YouTube when it goes up. Plus 5.2 spell power. Oh, yeah. Anything that's public domain is 100% guaranteed to get a copyright claim. Paradoxically. I hate it. I hate it so much, but... There's always some copyright troll who recorded a piano recording of it, and did their own performance, and then have copyrights for it. Okay, chest guard. It looks like it equips new items for me automatically. Gotcha. That's really cool. I'm glad to hear that about following the objectives. It seems pretty well tutorialized. So how long does it take to go from someone just wiped you out and took all your shit and now you have to start back from scratch to get back to where you were if you're like an endgame player? Does it depends on the server, I suppose? The boots. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, so is this whole area like if you were playing online, is this safe from other players, like just a place for you to get set up? Yeah, I do like the idea of all of the progression being tied to equipment and therefore able to be taken by another player. Save for 1 hour after character creation. Okay, so that's kind of like, was it Dead Man mode in RuneScape? I never played it, but I've read about it. I need animal hides. Okay. I see. How does storage work? Do you like build bases and stuff and try to defend them? If you have enough friends, they can like store things remotely. I should recommend this to my friend group is really into Sea of Thieves. I feel like they would probably enjoy this. Are your chests that you've built in your base like available for anyone to mess with at any time? Or are they only available when you're signed in? This might all be stuff that's like super standard if you've played Rust before, but I've never played Rust. I'm only aware of it through cultural osmosis. Okay, that's interesting. Tainted heart, animal hide. But if they're able to craft that, they can raid you even when you're not online. Fallout 76 is kind of like this too, right? Was Rust the original, like, I don't know what you would call this, an always online PvP based looter game? Is there like in-game PvE content that you can complete in a group and just say that you've quote beat it? It's still technically early access, right? I could feed the animal, cut down trees. But I might want the axe to do that. I like how I can hold on to the rats as a healing potion. That's pretty flavorful. That's cool. Does Rust have that much PvE content, or Fallout 76 for that matter? I was kind of under the impression that both of those games were entirely based on like the player versus player experiences and not so much on just like the core content in the game. Craft a mace for smashing rocks. Okay. to like, okay, we're not, it's basically Minecraft, but it's not a pickaxe, it's a mace. He's a vampire. I'm interested in the PvE stuff. Can I just break any rocks? There's specific kinds of rocks that I can break. Answers my question. Oh, sure, yeah. I haven't played Valheim yet. I've heard that one compared to, like, Terraria. Claim. Technology unlocked. Castle Heart and Borders. Construct and interact with the Castle Heart. Interesting. As long as it contains blood essence, it will power your castle and keep it from decaying. You can expand your territory with borders and floors originating from the heart. So decaying is just a thing that if you don't play the game often enough, you lose your base, basically. So I gotta find somewhere open to place this. Can this only requires like a single tile that doesn't have any stuff on it? Look for little ramps. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll probably want to switch to playing online next time. I just figured if I'm playing it offline now, I can completely focus on the tutorial. Because it's not the end of the world if I have to start over next time. Cramped, okay. This little thing northeast of me, maybe? Southeast? Oh, I see it. Thank you. Oh, that's cool. Creatures attack each other. Skull means it's probably too high level for me right now. I see. Castle Heart. Okay, expand your territory by placing borders. Oh boy. Big boy. Figures whether or not something's a skull or not based on my gear score. That makes sense. Place borders. Is that like a way for me to try to train them, basically? I wasn't sure if the game was going to train me on that. Walls and structures. Place a wooden coffin. can sleep in. Okay. Wooden stash. Palisades. Oh, I need more wood, it looks like. Lumber. All right. Okay. Can that be on rats, or does it have to be on... Oh, feed on the enemy. Okay, I thought I misunderstood that message before. I thought that was, like, feed the wolf a thing to, like, try to train it or something. How do I deal with daytime? Like, just try to stay in shadows? Can I sleep through it? Because I'm guessing this is all progressing in real time, right? I guess there's enough shadows for me to dart around. It's a really interesting concept. Have to deal with daytime. Tech that protects my base from sunlight, so I can keep working during daytime, basically, and then go hunt at night. I like that. It's kind of an inversion. I wonder if that was one of their original ideas. It's like all these survival games, it's like you got to like build shelter before the monsters come out at night, and the idea of it being way more dangerous at daytime in this is kind of a fun twist. Okay, so you said I can eat rats. That's this meter down here, blood pool. You'll slowly lose health and ultimately perish if you run out of blood. I see. Yeah, that's smart. Really like how you start to catch fire in the daylight. That's really cool. Do you not take damage for the first couple seconds you're out or something? You have to, like, go from shadows to shadows? Oh. Interesting. So you get significantly more movement speed if you're better fed. Oh, I like how chopping down the tree changes the amount of shade that's available. Do trees regrow at all? This game has some pretty neat ideas. Okay, so I basically invested in creature, but I could also be trying to get blood from, like, humanoids or something, and that would give me different bonuses. You grow slowly and you can plant them, okay. Alright. QT forest, I can't hide from the sunlight. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, build walls. So these would show as actual walls to other players, basically, or... Oh, I have to make the struts first, is that right? I see. Oh, did I place this in a place where I can't put walls effectively? Is there something I can do to destroy the stuff that's blocking my ability to place things? You have to be more environmentally conscious. You're more concerned about the long term, right? Because I'm also curious if I'm allowed to tear stuff down and try to move all of this. Oh, those are there beforehand and they're blocking. Okay, thank you. Misunderstood. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I like how a lot of the flavor concepts interact directly with the like survival crafting stuff. That's quite smart. Like I like how building the walls also protects you from the sun. It seems obvious, but it's neat. Basic crafting. Construct and interact with a sawmill, a workbench. Increase your gear level by crafting stronger equipment. Okay. I like how since the game prefers to be nighttime, the game is very, like, visible at night, if that makes sense. I've played a lot of games where I hate when it's nighttime because I can't see what the hell is going on, you know? All right, so it wants me to make a sawmill production. Sawmill is, I need more lumber. Okay. So I basically want to be trying to feed. Am I always allowed to feed, or only when my my blood orb pool is low? Oh, I can click and hold. Okay, that's cool. Can I feed more on purpose just to try to build this creature menu? Oh, I like the little teleport you do when you go to feed. That's cool. Oh, so this is based on the blood quality of the thing I most recently fed on? Is that right? I misread that. Okay. So if I'm dependent on buffs from like a high-level humanoid that I ate, that means that I now I need to like look for more high-level humanoids to maintain that buff. Otherwise, the next time I eat rats or whatever, it's going to downgrade the buff to something really weak. That's cool. That's some cool vampire flavor, because you kind of get the stories of the vampires who are desperate and they have to eat rats and shit, and they're really weak as a result. That's clever. Okay. Let's see. How do I feed the heart? Maybe I'll learn later. I love that compulsively count button. That makes me very happy. Does crafting inside of my base automatically use materials from local chests, or do they have to be in my inventory? Which I have to find, okay. Sawmill. Now I can make planks and sawdust. But I have to power the castle heart first. Oh, these things. Okay. And the only use for those is to pump into this? Where do I get these from? Is that just from killing enemies or something? I see, and now it's automated. Cool. Okay. And it's just going to put them into an output that I can collect later. I see. All right, so we want to get a workbench then. So that's crafting workbench requires 8 planks and everything else I have. But it's still early access, so I could see them adding a mechanic like being able to draw from your local chests. 12%. Do I know the blood quality of a creature before I start feeding on it? Hearts do you get from fighting enemies, or do they come from like specific treasure chests or something? So I may have actually wanted to build all the way back here if I were playing multiplayer, because it would be more defenses that I could build to protect myself, basically. Tainted hearts. 41%, okay. Okay, movement speed up, sun resistance rating, health regen. Interesting. My base is safe from monsters, okay. Is there anything else that I want to use those hearts on other than powering my base, or am I safe to just throw them into my base every time? This game is fun. Oh, is their blood quality also indicated somewhat by their health bar color? I really like that flavor of you can always feed to fill your meter, but it replaces whatever your most recent buff was. I think that is a really smart way to deploy vampire rules about, you know, trying to get high quality blood. That's smart. Thing is still a skull. Trying to see if there's any other enemies I can kill profitably here. That's interesting. It looks like once you fed, it lasts a pretty long time before you have to feed again. Oops. Guess I may as well wipe some of this stuff out so I have more room. The ruins that are on these plateaus are presumably, they don't help with defense at all, right? They're just there for you to destroy and replace. What happens to decayed bases on like a live server? If you had a really big server and somebody just stopped playing, would you be able to find and loot their base somewhere? Okay. Theoretically, I should be able to do simple workbench now. Workbench. Oh, cool. Okay, reinforced bone sword. Blood rose ring. Plated bone chest guard. I can queue stuff. Okay, that's cool. If you happen to find one that's decayed, it's just free loot. Cool. Okay. Copper. Copper ingots, okay. Instruct to interact with the blood altar. Hunt powerful V blood carriers and drink their blood to claim their power and knowledge as your own. Oh, this is cool. Powers, wolf form. Oh, this is really cool, actually. Huh. These are kind of almost like quests, I guess. Track blood. Yeah, I like the blood scent. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I'm excited to check that out. So, like, if you're trying to play this game as pure PvE, your objective is to kill all the bosses, basically. 11% moose. How embarrassing. Maybe a little high level for me. We'll see. She's one of the V-Blood bosses that I can, like, drink her blood and get something special out of it. Shit. Shit, I got something else attacking me over here. Shit. She can attack the bear, though, too, right? Guessing she's also affected by the sun, though. Try to get back to my base. I'm kind of getting my butt kicked here. Things were going okay until the deer showed up. That makes sense, yeah. Is there a way for me to quickly track down where my base was? Because I already forgot. I got turned around. Okay, I think I just found it. If I press M, will I see it? I think so. I like how it's actually pretty reasonable to stay in the shadows during the daytime. I see. Place a marker. How can I get a full heal? Is it just from resting or other means? Let's see, 4 hours on the Castle Heart. So what all gets destroyed if it decays, especially if it's on my own private server? I'm guessing that's still ticking down while I'm not playing. Oh, I see. My health is just kind of very slowly regening over time too, isn't it? Exposed vein is like a way to share your health with a party member, basically. If I'm reading that right. %. That's so good. Easiest way to heal is with Blood Mend, okay. But now I'm faced with a challenge because it's going to burn up my meter, and if I lose my meter, I lose my nice movement speed boost from the high blood quality wolf from earlier, so I'd have to find a better one somewhere. Scary tree ant, okay, that's a thing. There's a limit to how much Blood Mend's allowed to heal. Oh, you gotta stand still for it to work. Okay. Oh, I see. It keeps applying over time. Gotcha. Sure. And it's consuming for every tick. Oh shit, that was almost bad. Lady's gone. Skeleton priests. Those guys are pretty high level for me. When it highlights an area in yellow like that, what does that mean exactly? Yeah, I just like the movement speed buff. Movement speed's pretty important to me in games like this. I can zoom out a bunch, that's nice. Can summon ads. So you got tired from charging, so that's nice. So that can happen. The block heals me. Oh, it's like a timed counter. That's cool, thanks. I have to use it because the dash is on a cooldown, so I can't just dash. Oh no, the other one's here. Cool. I really like this mechanic of getting cool blood from bosses to get unique buffs and stuff. Alpha Wolf. So is that just a thing I can do from now on? Like, is that a permanent progression thing even if I lose all of my loot later? That's neat. Yeah, so I think if I were to play this, if you were to try to get this on the voting spreadsheet or something, that would probably be my objective. Objective would be all bosses. That part's quite fun. And it seems like all the bosses have different mechanics and maybe are nastier versions of overworld enemies. Research desk. 8 planks. Okay. Oh, dicks. $16 hours. Okay. Can I pull hearts out of there after a while? Ooh, 60%. Love to see that. Movement speed up, sun rating up, damage reduction. Okay. Cool. In case there's like a crafting recipe for it or something. One more plank. Ooh, is this like a tree, basically? Travel ability. What do they want me to trade out here? Oh, they're just showing me that I have this new vampire power wolf form. Yeah, I like how it seems like they're trying to do all this from a flavor first perspective, right? So I wonder what mist form's gonna do, for example. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, I was able to use it to get over here, right? That's what you're talking about? It's cool to have like a travel power in lieu of a mount. Okay. Research desk. I need paper to discover a random technology. Interesting. Create the castle heart and interact with it. Requires copper ingots and leather. See, those are crafting table recipes. Maybe not. Improving weapons and armor. Refinement of ores. Okay, I haven't found any ores yet. We have about 10 minutes left. I don't think I'm going to be able to progress the tutorial much further, and I might end up starting a different map next time. So let me try one of these other bosses, I suppose. I really like the idea of the bosses giving you, like, progression unlocks, like the wolf form. That's really sweet. Big fan. Look that they're all fighting each other all the time. That's kind of cool. Yeah, the one where it became daytime and there was a bear and there were archers and I got my ass kicked. Try fighting her again. So there's a short cast time on that, so if you were playing in PvP, you couldn't just use it to escape. Stone Golem. Is the level by your health just your gear level? Is there anything else that's being factored into that, like what powers you've unlocked and that kind of a thing? Copper mine, interesting. That's cool. Yeah, now that I understand the game better, I think I can get on board with some of the server settings you were talking about. It hasn't been too bad for today since I haven't really crafted all that much, but it seems like the interesting part of crafting is getting the recipes for it. This guy's interesting. Ouch. Right into that guy. Ouch. Try to block better. Sucks to mess with that. Makes me really excited to see all the bosses in this game. Summons ads, okay. I need to move that block onto a different button, I think. Yeah, I imagine. I like that healing is a channel, so you can't just do it for free. Shit. And there's a set amount of my health that I simply can't recover, right? New attacks, cool. I like that parry attack, that's quite cool. I like that the game encourages using the parry by having everything else be on a cooldown, right? Can't just be mashing dodge. Got him, I think.
Guess it's time to take that break.
Errol the Stonebreaker. I like how all this stuff is like a surprise too. It doesn't fully tell you what to expect. Well, this is the right guy to go for. I need all this loot for upgrading the castle heart anyway. Okay. Blood. Aftershock. Smash the ground, causing a shock wave. Oh, interesting. So you're basically creating a build for yourself? Because you only have a couple of these at a time. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Stack size of items, I could see why you would do that just for convenience sake. I just want to make sure whatever I'm selecting is pretty close to the intended experience of the game, because it can become cheating, I think, if you mess with those too much from the way my brain works with video games. That's quite a bit of an upgrade over my previous one. Take that. Just trying to grab the loot, not feed. Sure, it's not a coincidence that those are the same button. Some paper. Oh, okay, so if I end up doing multiplayer, then just go with the base settings? Okay. So I think I asked this, but I either I misunderstood your answer or I missed your answer. How does multiplayer work? Can I like dynamically connect to join? Is that just going to start me from scratch every time I boot up the game that way, or do I have to like look for a specific server to try to join? I guess is my question. Good timing. Just got a nice boss kill in. Potentially have progress here, maybe. Oh, I got 2 copper ingots. Not as many as I thought. I have enough copper ore though now. I just need stone. So you might want to make the copper mace. Reinforced bone mace requires more planks. I see. Does it also help you to mine existing metals and stone faster? Okay, so we're about at time. I gotta leave Future Marstead notes. Future Marstead, this game is really cool. Next time you probably want to play multiplayer. I don't know to what extent that's going to reset your progress. Maybe if you're watching this with enough time before stream, tag Tryhard in Discord to ask some questions about how the multiplayer works specifically and what's recommended. But the basic gist of this game is you're a vampire, so during the day you have to stay in the shadows. You have a blood meter. When you go to drink blood to fill this meter, and you need to have it filled, or not all the way full, but it can't be empty, the enemy has like a little percentage next to their name, which is the quality of their blood, and you want to try to maximize that. So right now you have like a 60% blood, which gives you all these buffs, like a big movement speed buff and sun resistance and damage reduction and the like. So you want to try to maintain that to the best of your ability. You have these cool abilities you can swap out with the J button, Right now you're using this aftershock ability that you just learned, and this counter ability is extremely strong. It's currently bound to C. You can use it to block an attack and it heals you, and you need to use it. It's a game that's actually incentivizing you to use your block because you can't just dodge all the time. Dodge has a cooldown. You're trying to build your base over here. Try to follow the tutorial. The tutorial right now wants you to upgrade the castle heart, which requires you to do a couple complicated things. One of which is you have to build a furnace, which is why you're gathering stone right now. You have to build a furnace so that you can turn your copper ore into copper ingots, and then turn the copper ingots into the castle heart to upgrade it here. And I'm trying really hard not to stand in the sun. The game's significantly easier at nighttime, so keep that in mind. Oh, I could host this world for friends to join. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll pitch it to my friends and see if they're interested in checking it out. Thanks, Tryhard. This game's really cool. It's more up my alley than I would have expected. You know, I played a little bit of Sea of Thieves, and it didn't have enough of the interesting PvM stuff to really hook me for any long period of time. And it sounds like Rust is so PvP focused that it would be the same issue, but I'm really intrigued by the boss fighting mechanics. And like actually trying to beat all the bosses, I feel like would be a really fun challenge. I would probably end up doing it PvM only for that reason, but I'm sure that that's fine. Thanks, cool game.